Thank you, Commander. And as we kickstart our interview, perhaps you can start by defining the role of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces in terms of nation building.
Thank you. The Zimbabwe Defense Forces provides peace and tranquility to the nation. And these are two important ingredients in terms of economic development and also just to allow people to go about their businesses as they wish. But besides this, we also provide really in a complementary role the activities of various government departments towards nation building by participating in projects, community projects countrywide, which we undertake to assist those disadvantaged communities to deal with some challenges they may be facing in the areas where they live.
Perhaps you can underscore to us what the significance of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Day is to the nation at large.
Well, firstly, Z.D.F Day is a day when the Defense Forces come into interaction or come into contact with the people for the people to understand their defense force. But it's also a day when the people honor the defense forces for the good work that they do in providing peace and security for the country.
Okay. And thank you very much for that. We would perhaps want to know as a nation what the relationship between the Z.D.F and the general populace is.
The Z.D.F is a creation of the people of this country through the Constitution. And also, the members of the Z.D.F come from the people of this country. They are part of this community. And so, because of this symbiotic relationship that we have, we find the relationships that we have with the people very useful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you touched a little bit on the community service. We do know right now we are between the 1st and the 7th in the Community Assistance Week for the Z.D.F. Perhaps you can briefly share with us some of the community development projects that have been undertaken by the Z.D.F.
Yes, indeed. We have many projects that have been undertaken. What you have seen in the papers are just a few of these projects, what we call star projects. But there are many other projects that have not been publicized, but they are known by the communities where these projects have been constructed and the communities that are benefiting from these projects. But the star projects that you have been advised of are about 3 or 4. Yes. You have got the Mberengwa maternity ward, which the Minister of Defense was initially scheduled to hand over on the 1st of this month, but that did not happen because of other exigencies. It's now going to be handed over on Friday. Okay. You have a classroom block at Spepa in Cholocho, which is going to be handed over by the Permanent Secretary tomorrow. It should have been done today, but unfortunately we have had to change because of the burial that took place today of the national hero. You also have got a Neromwe clinic in Chiredzi, which was handed over by the Air Force Commander the day before yesterday. And there's a clinic in Chakadini Clinic in Mausekwa, which the Commander Army was supposed to hand over today, but because of the burial again, it was handed over by his deputy, Major General Tazira. There is also a project in Marondera, Mandonga Primary School, which is going to be handed over during the course of this week before the Z.D.F Day celebrations. The other projects that have been completed and are being handed over during the course of this week are Watershed Primary School, one classroom block, which is being handed over by the ZNA, one of the chiefs of staff from MHQ. And then you have St. Manox Primary School in Mount Hamden, which is a 2-classroom block, which is being handed over also. You have got St. Albans Primary School in Buera. You have got Manyuroko Primary School in Chiredzi. You recall, last year we had a tragic helicopter accident in Goromonzi, which was, the aircraft was on a training mission, and something happened and it crashed into a homestead, the Fenyere homestead, and we lost a small child there, and others were wounded. The house has been rebuilt and it's now ready and it's going to be handed over by the minister this Friday morning. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the projects that have been undertaken by the Defense Forces during the course of this year, with some of them being handed over. You may want to know that some projects were commenced this year, but they will only be ready for handover next year. So they are ongoing in terms of their construction.
Absolutely. I commend you and your efforts in terms of that community development front. Now let's touch a little bit on the welfare of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Yes, we perhaps want to know from grassroots level what is being done in terms of issues to do with health or accommodation of those members that are part of the Z.D.F.
Yes, indeed. Welfare for the members of the Defense Forces and their families is a subject that is close to my heart. And we try by all means to ensure that their accommodation, their health needs, their transport needs, their salaries and allowances are of a satisfactory level. But because of the challenges that are affecting our country, we don't have a consistent provision of these. And this is something that we are continuously interacting with Ministry of Finance on, so that we can find solutions to the challenges. However, some work has been done, and it's pleasing to note that government is very supportive of the provision of adequate conditions of service for the members and their families. And in this regard, the projects that are going on at Zvarasekwa for the provision of accommodation for non-commissioned members. This is also being done at Mbizo in Bulawayo. But we also have got projects in other cantonment areas which have over the years have had a deterioration in their infrastructure, like at Ndangana Barracks in Chipinge, where new structures are being put up because the old ones that were there had become inhabitable. Okay. Yeah. Then we have got 3-1 Infantry Battalion at in Mtare, where barracks are being refurbished. Again, because there has been wear and tear, and some of them would really become dangerous to live in. Those are being refurbished. We have new barracks that are coming up at 1-3 Infantry Battalion at Plumtree, because again the accommodation there was inadequate. So new accommodation is coming up there. Here in Harare, we have some work that is being done at Charles Kumbo Barracks, at the Commando Barracks, and also we have some work that is being done at Manyame Air Base, where a military referral hospital is being put up. The structural works are almost complete. So what we are going into now is the kitting of this, the structure. Yeah.
Well, that's quite commendable. And as we wind up our interview, we know that research and development are a cornerstone in terms of what is happening with the Z.D.F. itself as a whole. So perhaps in tying with what the Second Republic's vision and mantra is, which is the vision 2030, maybe you can touch a little bit on what the contribution the Army, the Z.D.F. as a whole rather, has been in terms of education 5.0.
We have started implementing the Education 5.0 concept at the National Defense University, which is our highest institution of learning in the military today. And we are hoping that we will start seeing some results from there in the not too distant future. But certainly we have embraced it, and we are also working very closely with the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education in that area. With regards to research and development in general, we, as a defense force, have got some capacity to do research and development. We need capacitation, but we believe that if the forces are properly capacitated in this area, we should be able to help the country towards Vision 2030 by producing certain products and therefore minimizing on imports or doing import substitution. Absolutely. So we believe there is capacity there. We are doing something, but it's on a very low level scale at this stage. Okay. Yeah.
Allow me to express that I would have loved this interview to be conducted at the National Defense University, but I guess that could be for next year.
Yes, next year indeed. We obviously we should do better every year. Absolutely. With each year. Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you so much. Any parting shots as we commemorate the Z.D.F. Day to the nation at large?
Just to ask the people of Zimbabwe to join the forces in celebrating this very important day. We are now 42, going into our 43rd year of independence, and the Z.D.F. has been part of this history. And so it's important that our people come to celebrate with us, they come to interact with us, and we interact with them so that we build stronger bonds of understanding between us and the people. And this is important as we go forward. There are too many threats that are out there that threaten this country of ours. And we need unity of purpose by all Zimbabweans.
Thank you very much.